test score of 214 in 2002 made India sit up and take note of women's cricket. In her 22-year career, she has twice led the country to the final of the ODI World Cup. She's also the leading international run getter in the women's game. In the latest episode of Forbes India from the Field, we speak to India's batting legend Mithali Raj.
I think the biggest motivation has always been you're representing your country. When you want to do well or excel in a specific field that you chose, you want to be the best in that field. And everything keeps evolving. So is the sport. And sport is a very uncertain field. There is no guarantee that, despite putting all the hard work, sometimes the results are not in your favor. You prepare your best, but not necessarily what you prepare is what you're going to encounter on the field. So the challenges that the sport has also is something, is sort of, it helps me to motivate and be my best. It demands a lot of other things like commitment, the determination to do well each time you take the field. So when these things play a bigger role, you sort of, when you're at playing at international level as an athlete, you also not only have a professional environment around, you're quite professional even in your thought process. For me, I had great support in my parents, that I never felt probably I didn't go through the rigors and the struggles with any other girl who didn't have the support of the family had to go through. Of course, I had my own struggles. My journey was very different. Despite the struggles, I would say that again, the blue jersey that you wear is the feeling is very different after playing for so many years. When I wear the blue jersey and I walk onto the field, I think that itself is sort of inspires you to continue playing, give your best each time you walk onto the field. I think one is, the fierce determination to, if you choose something, you really want to do it. The determination to do certain things despite, as I said, adversities, challenges. Sometimes you're pushed to a corner, your back's on the wall, and you still have to go out there and perform. And a very strong conviction that you are capable of your whatever abilities that you have invested in over the years to sort of go out there and back yourself. I think champion attitude or mindset is all about self-belief, never giving up on oneself, even if you're the only person standing alone in front of the entire world. There are a few things that I've learned over the years as a captain is that it's not about yourself first. As a player, you play for the team and there is your personal performance. But as a captain, a lot of your time is invested on your team, how you build a team. That's my first learning as a captain. Second is compassion. I've learned over the years, not necessarily a player might not be at their best, not because of lack of ability, but there might be certain things emotionally connected with a player that as a captain, if I'm able to understand a player and give them that environment to grow and support them when it is actually needed, be there as a captain when they fall, I think that creates a very positive and a very optimistic environment where players will thrive. I don't want a team to survive international cricket. I want my team to thrive. So to thrive, you need to give them the environment where you also allow them to learn on their own. You can't always spoon feed your players, this is how you do, or this is how one should be done. Sometimes give them the rope to make mistakes and learn from their own experience, because they are going to be at some point leaders in the future. So you're not only leading a team, you will also side by side prepare leaders for the future. As a leader and as a captain, I find the role challenging at times, because our country is huge and we have so many cultures. Girls come from different corners of the country, sometimes interiors, who don't have the basic exposure of a city girl. So as a leader, it's important to be more sensitive to those players, keep them comfortable and make them feel like, they're part and they're one whole unit. They're part of the team and make them feel just as important as anybody else. So this is the job of a captain, to how to understand your players. And there is a different way of dealing with each and everybody. You can't have one yardstick and this is how it should be for everybody. I had an injury for a long period. That was a very tough period for me. Pretty much the peak of my career, I was struggling with a knee injury. And at times I felt that, it was not only very painful physically, but it was draining me emotionally. So at one point I was contemplating to retire because it was unbearable and a very excruciating pain each time I took the field. At that point is when I think women's cricket, the matches were started to televise on television. It was a new change for all of us. I thought, let me give another year or two and see where I stand. The controversy of the field in 2018. I feel that there are times where, there are certain things which are in our control, but there are certain things which is not in your control and you still find yourself in the thick of things. Now, how do you deal with that? I felt that, when I was literally deep down in a pit of despair, I reached out to my support system, that's my family and friends. And they were able to help me not to go deeper into the void, but gave me a lot of positivity. If you're going to be the best player, so there will be expectations. That's part of the job. So once you accept it, it's not going to bother it. But the more you fight it, it's going to bother you even more. And the same goes with criticism. Like, when people appreciate you, there will be a section of people who will criticize you. That comes with the title. When you go onto the field, you're in the moment. The real test, I believe, is always in the moments, the small moments, and you have to recognize it, because that's where the match tilts towards your opponent or tilts towards your team. So if you're always stuck up in what people are going to say, how people are perceiving you, or how I'm playing, you won't identify those moments to turn the match in your favor. Yes, there have been a lot of milestones that I have crossed. I would say that the world record of 214 way back in 2002 was something which, helped women's cricket, especially in my state, where people started to talk about women's cricket, identify me with women's cricket, with the sport. And then 2005 runners-up in the World Cup as a captain. That actually started things for women's cricket in India, where people didn't have to sort of question us with ignorance about women's cricket, that women also play cricket, or how the rules and everything are might be different because the ball is too hard. So those sort of questions started to simmer down a little after these two big events. So that is why I think I would give them a little more important in the milestones. Milestones for me, I don't really honestly, it's feel good factor, because you've sort of achieved a certain level, but my actual job is still there, that is to get the World Cup for India. So that is something is paramount for me. And if we start giving importance to milestones, I think then somewhere we sort of dilute our goals, our ambitions.